Good morning and welcome to the TxVSN Online Learning Conference. We're glad you could join us for this session, Boost Your Online Teaching Practices with Free Tools and Resources, presented by Paola Sanchez. The session will run until 10 o'clock a.m. Central. I'm your host, Alicia Rackers. Our facilitator is Heather Bonikowski. Our captionist is Tiffany Kroon. To view the captions, open to the Window tab at the upper left and select Show Closed Captioning, or use hotkey Control F8. Sign language interpretation is provided by Angela of Hired Hands. Please notice the participant window to the left of your screen. Here you'll find the buttons to raise your hand, respond to polling, and use emoticons. The chat window is where you can ask questions during the presentation. Please note that moderators will be able to view all chat comments. Finally, the Talk button in the upper left section of your screen can be used if you have a microphone and there is an opportunity to use it during the presentation. It will be blue when your microphone is live. And now, I'm going to hand it over to our presenter, Paola.
Can't hear you, Paola.
All right. I think you guys can hear me now, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Awesome. Thank you. My name is Paola Sanchez, and I'm going to be your presenter for today. I'll be sharing with you guys some free online tools and resources that will hopefully boost your online teaching practices and will help you enhance the student learning and engagement. So I wanted to do a quick polling to see who's joining us today. And to answer the poll, you'll go below your name. You'll see the last option with an A. You'll use the drop down to respond. A, if you're an online teacher. B, if you are an administrator. C, if you're a course designer. D, if you're tech support. And if you're other than that, if you're going to please go ahead and type it in the chat box for me, that would be awesome. So I see we have a little bit of everything here, lots of online teachers, administrators, and I see some course designers. That is fabulous. So thank you, and thank you those that are joining us mobile and are entering your answers in the chat box. All right, so just to tell you a little bit about me, I work for Pasco eSchool. We are one of the largest virtual franchises in the state of Florida, and I have been very fortunate to serve in many roles at the school. I do teach Spanish online, among other things, and that has given me the opportunity to learn about a lot of tools and resources, and some of those are the ones that I'm going to be sharing with you today. You can find me on Twitter using the Twitter handle @TxVSN. So you can make sure if you do use Twitter, if you want to follow me or add a comment about today's session, that would be awesome. So I'm going to move on and get started with our session today. So really the goal for the session is that you guys leave here with some tools that are going to enhance online communication and interactions. They're going to help you promote creativity and engagement, help your students stay organized, increase collaboration opportunities, and help you stay organized as well. I do want to mention a few other things. I do not endorse any of these tools, or I receive any compensation for promoting them, maybe after today. Just kidding. But one thing that I do want to remind you is as you use these tools and resources with the students or at your school, you always want to make sure that you're following your school privacy policies and such. And obviously, with technology integration, you always want to make sure that you're purposeful with how you are implementing or integrating this type of tools and resources, you know, and consider always how this is going to enhance or help student learning. You always want to make sure that you test tools before you provide them or give them to students or staff. And make sure you always give them clear instructions. What is the expectation for the learner? How do you want them to interact with the tool? And as we go through these, as I present these tools, just know that due to time constraints, I will not necessarily be able to explain in detail how each of these work, but you will be able to learn about their main features. You will receive a link at the end where all of these resources, information, and links are posted. So you're welcome to take notes, but know that all of this will be sent to you at the end of the presentation. I also encourage you to feel free to share in the chat box if you have any questions or comments, if you have experienced any of these tools and you want to share with us how that, you know, how you have utilized that as we go through the session, feel free to do so. I think that's how, you know, I've learned about a lot of these tools just from colleagues and peers and such. So if you feel free to share with us and your experiences with this. All right, so I hope you guys are ready. I am going to go ahead and get started here. So the first set of tools that I'm going to show you are for online communication and interactions, and I've chosen 3 of them: Today's Meet, Appear.in, and JoinThatMe. Okay, I'm going to start with Today's Meet, and basically this is a collaboration tool, and we have used it not only with students, but also with faculty. And I feel like this is definitely something that as we go through this presentation and you guys see some of these tools, you could always think not only how you could use it with students, but also how can you use it with you know, faculty, because we have taken advantage of using it with our teachers too, and it's always a great addition to collaboration and engagement. So for this one, basically, there is no, it's a free tool, there's no login required, and you receive real-time responses. So once you give your users the link to access today's meet, they'll be able to enter a name, and right below here where it says listen, you'll see live responses. With today's meet, you also get the ability to set how long you want the meeting to be available. So you can have it open for 1 hour, or you can have it open for a month. And one of my favorite features of this tool is that you're able to embed, so get the code to embed these this particular tool in a learning management system or other. There are options here, but if you don't see the one you use, for example, it has WordPress and Moodle, you always have the opportunity to click on other and you'll get that embedding code. Another thing that I love about this tool is that you can export a transcript of what was discussed here, and it also gives you a QR code. So if you're a QR code user, you could always have that for having users access today's need. So very, very nice. And I read a comment here, today's need is a great back channel that allows everyone to have a voice. Absolutely, especially those who are fearful to speak in front of others. Absolutely. So a lot of these tools where we are asking, will participants have the opportunity to collaborate and add their opinions. This is a great one to do that. So thank you, Katrina, for adding that information. The next tool that we have, this is one that I just learned about recently, and it's a very, very exciting one because it is so easy. It's probably one of the easiest tools that I have seen lately. It is sort of like a video conferencing site. So basically, once you go to appear.in, you will see that this screen right here, and you are able to customize the video conference session with whatever name you would like to give it, and just click start. It's that easy. You will get a link that you can share. You can invite up to 8 participants in here. Like I said, there's no installation, no downloading required, and it's totally free. For Appear.in, I have to tell you, their video streaming is amazing. And so one of the things that I'm not sure if it's because of the small number of participants, but their video, it's very good. The other things that I love about Appear.in is you're able to share your audio, your webcam, share your screen, and also there are great emojis and animations in here. So it's kind of like a fun one for participants. Then again, this is something that you could also utilize not just with your students, but also with your teammates. And I happen to have a teammate in here today, and we have used it together. So Desiree. So anyway, it's a great tool, and we just learned about this, so we're really excited. There is other features in here, such as you can claim a room. You can lock a room. So if you having a meeting and you want 2 participants and you don't want to have anybody else join the room, you can lock the room. You don't have to sign in, however, you can. Still free, but you don't need to. The other great tool about this, I use the Canvas Learning Management System a lot, and this is one that you can actually embed within the Canvas Learning Management System. So, if you want students to actually access this site within your course, you can always try and see if this is something that you can embed. It does give you an embedding ability. And finally, you have the opportunity to have a chat option here too. So you could use it for engaging participants like that. So very, very, very easy to do. Once again, this is one of my new ones and favorite tools. Yes, it does have great video streaming, so highly recommend this one. The next one is JoinThatMe, and you have probably heard about this one. This one is another video conferencing, very similar to Appear.in. It is free. However, there's no login required, but you do have to download. It's a quick download. But you still have to do that download before you can use it. Once you download this one, you're able to provide participants with either an URL or a link to join. This one is, they can also join by phone, which I thought it was very helpful. If you ever have a student or learner who is not able to join you on the computer, they're always able to join via phone. With this one, you also get a webcam, ability to share your webcam, microphone, and the chat box and share your screen. So very good options. This one has a limit of 10 participants. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Then again, good option for those communication and interaction. So, all right. So I'm going to move on to my next group. This one is what I call the creativity and engagement. And once again, as I move through these, I want you to think how you can use these with your students or with your online communication practices, because there's so many other uses to some of these. You can always think outside the box to use some of these tools. I'm going to start with the first one. This is another one that we started using recently, Bouncy. And basically, with Bouncy, it is a free tool. As an educator, you can get your educator account free. And it's sort of like a digital canvas, and you can create engaging lessons and multimedia content with this one. Very easy to use. Their navigation is very simple. And so not only you could use it from your teaching practices, but I think your students would also benefit from these. There are tons and tons of templates here for creating those lessons and multimedia content. You do get lots of options for embedding content in here, from video, images, files, YouTube videos, text. There's drawings, Dropbox images. So there are features for embedding content. It's really, really broad. So I love that setting. Another one that I'm really excited about is the ability that you have to get the embedding code to embed this. You could also just get the link and send a link if that's what you choose to do. And but you could also send it within social media. One of the things that we tried recently at our school, we use a lot of what we call forcing slides in our courses to communicate with the students. And so, we have the ability to create a forcing slide for sort of like a global announcement and send embedding code, either post it or send it to our teachers so that they can utilize the same information throughout the school. And I have to tell you, here's how we give this one a 5 stars. This is accessibility friendly. So there are accessibility tools within Bouncy to turn on web accessibility and text-to-speech. So what we did is we embedded into our course, and then we tried with VoiceOver and a screen reader, and it read all the text within the screen. So we were so excited to know that we can create this fun multimedia and it's still going to be able to be accessibility friendly. So totally recommend this one. Very, very exciting. All right, the next one is Canva, and I'm pretty sure you've probably heard of this one. I'm going to tell you, when I learned about this one, I was a little skeptical when I first started with seeing all of the templates and instead of getting overwhelmed, but it is super easy. This tool is free. There is a login required, obviously, because the content that you design in Canva, you want to make sure it's saved. So you do have to log in. There is an app as well. There are tons of pre-designed templates that you can utilize. And one of my favorite things here is that if you're creating a Facebook post or a Twitter post or an Instagram, it'll already have the size of the post ready for you. So you're not having to place with the size. It's going to display exactly to meet the requirements of those social media sites. So very, very helpful there. You don't have to use their templates. You can sort of like make your own, choose any background you want, the letters, the images. They have a lot of free images, and they do have a lot of other images that you would have to kind of pay for. But believe me, the amount, I haven't had to purchase any images because they have tons and tons for free. So I have to tell you, for this one, I have been able to take advantage of infographics, been able to take advantage of banners, designing banners on graphics for courses. So really friendly, user-friendly, and easy to create stuff. And also, if you're thinking that this is something that you want your students to use to kind of create work, this is also a very easy one for them to utilize. So lots of opportunities with this one as well. This is some of the features for Canva is you are able to download these. Once you create your image, you are able to download them, whether you want a JPEG, a PNG file, a PDF. They even have a PDF for print. So once you create that, you could always download it and save it in your computer as well. So lots of good features with Canva. I included this next one here, the QR generator. And when I saw this one, I don't think I have seen a QR generator that is as easy as this one, and that's what I wanted to make sure we share that. Because whether you're using it to create your own QR code or your QR, or if you're having students generate a QR code, it's amazing how easy it is and the type of information that you can make into a QR code. So once you go into the site, this is exactly what you see. No login required. It's free, very simple. You'll decide which QR code you're generating and download as an image. You can even choose colors for the QR codes. Very easy and simple to use. Highly recommend if you are someone who likes to use QR codes with the students or for your sessions. This next one, the Screencastmatic, it is a fabulous free tool for recording screen or recording video using the webcam. And it is a free tool. There is a download that's required, but it's pretty simple to utilize. Creating tutorials or say any recordings that you want to do with this tool. It is a very nice and easy tool to do that. One of the things that I use it a lot with tutorials, but I also use it to send messages to students, like quick videos, because it allows me to put record my screen. So if I have like a slide in the back and then I put the webcam, it stays on one corner, so they're able to see my face, and I make that connection and those quick reminders or messages. So very easy to utilize. One of the things that you get with the Screencastmatic is you get a direct link to your recording, or you get to embed link that you can actually embed in your courses. There is also options for downloading your recording as an MP4 file or downloading your recording to YouTube. So lots of good. I have also seen teachers who have students use the Screencastmatic. So anyway, either for your own use or for students, a great tool. Again, very easy to use and it's free. So we love those those ones, very good. So I love how you guys are, you know, adding those comments on the chat box, and I love, that's how we, like I said, that's how we learn from each other. So if you have any good experiences with any of these tools, share them out and tell us how you interact with some of these, and give us ideas, because they are great. Oh, I see Connie gave us a QR generator that lets you track the hits if you want. Oh my goodness, thank you, Connie. This is awesome, awesome. There's always something new to learn. So I love that you guys are sharing that. The next one is one that I pretty much use every single day. I love Ying, and Ying is a free tool that allows you to capture your screen, record your screen, and actually send a video or a screenshot of your screen. So love this tool. You could certainly utilize. So it's a free tool. It does require the login, because you'll have to be able to download the controls and have them available when you're using them. So what happens is, once you download it, you get the option to either have the controls on your desktop, and it will look something like this, or you will have, this is the one I have. I have it on the on my toolbar on the very top, and then when I click on it, it'll give me the option to capture. And so I do it every day to either capture my screen or a video. There are annotation features here where you can, once you take the screenshot, you can draw arrows or text or shapes in your capture. So really cool tool to use, and best of all, it's free. So we love those things, right? So when you save your images, you're able to download them as images or as a recording file. But then you're also able to just obtain an URL or link so that you can send it out, and then it'll link to your image or recording. So very helpful tool for sure. And I have a comment here from Heather. You can mark up your screenshots with arrows and boxes. It is really helpful, absolutely. So I use the annotations all the time, Heather, too. So very helpful for doing that. And so I highly recommend that if you haven't downloaded this one, this is one to keep all the time open for sure. All right, so I'm making a stopping point here, and you guys have been great adding your comments and opinions, and but if you have anything to tell us or any questions that I can address at this point before I continue, we got to learn about tools that help with communication, and then we talked about the tools helping with creativity and engagement. So can you think of any tool that you already have in the back of your head or that you use and you're thinking, here is how I'm going to use it? And you could either use the text tool that's on the toolbar right here to write on the board if you have anything you want to share with us. Otherwise, you could type it in the chat box as well. So feel free to share with us and anything that has caught your attention, you know, with any of the tools with communication and creativity. Feel free to share with us, and I'll just give you a few seconds here before I move on. I see you guys typing in the chat box, and I see okay, so I'm seeing a comment here. Our AP World History group has students flip lessons with the Screencastmatic. Oh my goodness, what an awesome idea. This is a great idea. Each group took a topic in their last unit and presented a video lesson. I love that idea. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love the idea of them recording the lessons and sharing it out. That is definitely something that we could use on our, even in our online courses. I love that. And especially for those AP reviews, I love it. I love it. I actually teach AP Spanish, so I love this idea of having them teach a lesson. I think they also love to learn from each other, so this is a great opportunity. I see another one about Google Hangouts. We use Google Hangouts too. It's a great tool, and yes, a lot of students sometimes have their the Google profiles, and they're already and they send each other posts. So it's a great communication tool. I love. Thank you so much for sharing that out. Awesome. These are some great ideas here. Oh, I love this one. I using as an assessment tool. Students show how they locate a database article, and I can see their process and think out loud. I love that. That is also a great idea. Oh my goodness, I know I am presenting this, but I'm also learning a lot from you guys. I love it. I love it. Okay. So Steam, a free conferencing app for iPad to allow virtual collaboration. That's a new one. I've never heard of that one. Vida, awesome. Always learning something new. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I have it here, use it to record when I will be out of the classroom. Love those ideas. That's something that I do use the Screencastmatic a lot. I like that, and that the students can see my face while I'm trying to give them some, whether it's a quick message saying, something is coming up, or maybe, the holidays are coming up and happy holidays or something like that, but, and give them reminders. I love that, the ability that they can see my face while they're also reading a message. So awesome. Connie, yes, thank you. There's a screen capture video converter called Can Studio. So there is a lot of tools out there, and for these types, you always want to make sure, like I said, that how they're going to be, how the students are going to be interacting with them, and how easy it is for them to use it when you're asking them to utilize a tool like that, and what their access is. That's something to think. So I'm going to get going over here. The next set of tools, it's for student organization, or what I like to also call the brainstorming and mind mapping tools. These tools that I've chosen here, a Text to Mind, Bubble US, MindMap, Poplet, and Rewardify, are tools that are very simple for them to use. I want to start with Text to Mind. So basically, with Text to Mind, there's no login required. It's free. Once the student or the user logs in, this is what they get. And you are basically set up your graphic organizer or brainstorming. You'll be adding it into the outline your text box. And so the way you outline your text is how this is going to come out. Very simple to use. and like I said, they won't have to log in on anything, and it is very simple for them. The beauty of this is once they're done, they're able to download it as an image or download it as a PDF. So for my online courses where my students use this, they turn in their image or their PDF, and you know, very easy and simple for them to also submit assignments. I like this tool as well. Very easy features and simple for them. Definitely like this one a lot. The next one is very similar to Text to Mine. It's bubble.us. With this one, you get to create your content and your boxes, and you get to choose the colors and text. For simple, free, and not logging, your student can create their brainstorming here, and then they're able to download it as a JPEG or PNG file. If they want to save it, then they'll have to, it's going to ask them to log in. One thing about this one is you're also able to actually go ahead and create an account and add teams. So if you want to use it for collaboration, where you want students to collaborate together and create something like this, you're able to do so as well. Very nice and easy to use. So another one for students to use it in your courses. The next one, these are all mind mapping tools, so they have very similar features. For this one in particular, you are able to add images to it. And so I think for this one, that's probably one of my favorite things, that with the free and no login, they are able to add those images as they're creating. There's a tons of other features in this one too. And then you could also insert files or attach files to these boxes. So once again, as you explore, you can see some of the things that your users are able to do. With this one, when I have my students use it, I usually have them download it as an image or as a PDF. If you log in and create an account, there's another cool feature here where you can actually create storyboards and have them saved as a Word document or a PowerPoint, but those will probably require login. So very, very cool features on this one, and then user-friendly. And like I told you, I love the fact that I can add images to this one too. This one is a little bit, has a little bit more features. I like the look of it. With this one, your students can draw, your students can add images, and there's even videos. So they can upload YouTube videos or Vimeo videos on this one. If you do go to Poplet.com, they have tons of samples. This one also has an app that students can download. It's free. There's no login required. So, however, if you're asking them to save their work, it might ask them obviously to sign up and have an account. But as far as just creating it, if you want them just to save it as an image, there's no need to sign up. Okay, so again, if they sign up, it's still free. However, it'll save their work. With this one, you can export as a PDF file, or a JPEG, or a PNG. I have even used this one to create graphics to build inside my courses. So, you know, there's always that use from the student side, but you can also use it yourself to create those graphics for your courses. So there's also a collaboration element to this one. I'm not sure if you can see it on the images, but the boxes have your name, so students can actually type their name on top if you're using these as a collaboration. So another great tool for brainstorming and mind mapping for the students, and also with an element of collaboration. So lots of good things to think about. On this one, this is not necessarily a mind mapping tool. I did want to make sure that I squeezed this one in here because it is a wonderful free tool. It simplifies text or website information for students. So basically, your students won't have to log in. They'll just have the opportunity to enter text in the yellow box and have the opportunity to rewordify text. And what it does is basically simplifies your text. I think that, you know, with increasing the literacy supports for our students, this is a great tool to provide, especially on our online courses. The amount of text that the students have to interact with, you know, I think offering this for them where they're able to you know, enter the text here or URL to rewordify the text is a beautiful thing. For ELL students, this is a fantastic support. One of the things that I love about this tool is that as a teacher, you could also create and build those vocabulary lessons on this one, because after they enter their text and rewordify sort of transforms the text, it'll actually pick up those words that were in the sort of like the difficult words. And then what happens with that is that you can create the vocabulary activity, or the software creates the vocabulary activity where you get the word, it tells you what it means, and it also you're able to listen to the word. So fantastic tool, I think, not only for those ELL students, but also for students that need a little bit more support, you know, or that are needing those instructional practices to improve their reading. So definitely a great tool, and I wanted to make sure that I squeezed that one in here. If you have used this one, I would love for you to tell me how you have used it before, because I think it's definitely going to be very helpful. And I think for online students, this is one to definitely be able to offer that. It's going to be a big help. So I'm just trying to read some comments here in the chat box before I move on. Absolutely. I think a lot of these, and I have to tell you, a lot of these tools that I'm sharing with you today, our elementary teachers and students are using them. So totally able to utilize this with the younger learners. I'm going to move on to the collaboration tools that I'm going to be showing you here today. These are some of the ones that I've used the most, but very easy and nice to use. The first one here is Padlet. A lot of you have probably heard of it. There's no login required. It's really easy to use. Once you go on their site, you create your Padlet. You get an URL that you're either able to share with the students for them to create those collaborations and collaborate with each other, or they can just use the Padlet and create or work on an assignment on their own. And it just depends what the purpose of your of using this tool is. We have also used this tool with the staff, so there's many ways that you can use it, but it's very easy and simple to use. We definitely highly recommend that if you haven't used it, that you use it. So basically with Padlet, you're able to embed audio, video, You're able to embed files, images, and so it's very nice and easy to do. Here is an example of one that we created at the school. With Padlet, you are able to explore, you are able to embed Padlet. I have embedded Padlet in Canvas for the students to use, so if you don't want the students to leave your course to access the Padlet, you could always find and see if there's a way for you to embed that using the embedding code they give you, and see if you can embed that in your learning management system. So very easy to use, and a lot of these tools, if you are an online instructor who provide live lessons for students, you can use a lot of these to support those live lessons, and maybe have them interact in a different way during a live lesson. So you could always set up those Padlets, give them the link and say, okay, group A is going to go on this link and, you know, collaborate with each other, because later you're able to share those Padlets with all of them and see how they have come up together to build some awesome awesome work. So lots of things to think about, and a lot of opportunities to make these tools work for you. The next one is AnswerGarden, and AnswerGarden is basically sort of like a word cloud, and it is real-time response. So what you do, it's free. There's no login required. You go to the site, you type the question, and then it'll give you a URL. That's the URL that you will share with the students. They will enter the answer, and the word cloud starts building up, just like it does in any word cloud. The larger font will be the common responses that you get. And then this is another one that you are able to embed. But then you could also, one of the features about this one that I love is you can export the transcript. So if you had your students collaborate and you later wanted to export the responses they got, this is a great one to do that. And it's free. So this one also gives you the opportunity for sharing it in social media, and there is also an app for it. So lots of good uses for this one as well. The next one is the DeterminPad, and this is another collaboration tool. It also gives you real-time responses, so as people are entering their responses, you'll see them. I love that once you create a public pad, you can get a URL, and then your users are going to be able to access the DeterminPad, and it'll color code their responses. So as you can see, if you're using this for collaboration, you'll be able to see who add what to the comments. You also get a chat, kind of like a chat box, or on the right-hand side where your participants can collaborate. This is another one that can be embedded in the learning management systems. You could also project it. So we have used it in meetings with the staff, where we actually project it, and as we're presenting, we allow them to ask questions and kind of have that interaction while the meeting is going. I am going to, with that link that I'm giving you guys at the end, you're going to see an example of one that I built with all of those resources in here. And you can share DeterminPad. So if you build it, whether you're using it for collaboration with your students, or you're just building your own DeterminPad because you want the students to, you're sharing a bunch of resources with them, you're able to share that link with them. So great tool. You are able to sign in and create your account if you want for free, but you could also use it without having to log in into the session. So this is kind of what you see once you start interacting with the pad. The students will have to, or participants will have to enter their name. You can save your revisions if you're changing any information. So lots of good, nice collaboration with this one. And then The next one is a scrambler, and I'm going to try to move a little bit fast because I'm running out of time, and I do have a few more that I want to share. But scrambler is a sort of like a board where you can have participants share and collaborate. It is very simple. You go to scrambler.ca, you will create your board that you can customize with your name, and then provide the links to your users, and then you set up your board to look whichever way you need it to look for the activity, and then they're able to add their index cards in there with comments. It's a beautiful tool, very nice and easy to use with students. I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to stop at the end. I just want to make sure I get through the to the last set of them, and then I'll make sure that I address any questions or concerns that you guys have about any of these tools. This is the last set of tools that we're going to share today. It's the Stay Organized group, and basically with this one I have 4 to share with you: stickies, linked notes, Digo, and live binders. And the first one is the sticky. So it's basically just a sort of like an online sticky note software. And this one is only for PCs. So I want to make sure that I give you that information. It's only for PCs. But basically, you're able to, once you download the software, that's free. You're able to create those sticky notes on your desktop. They're customizable. You can also save images and save text. One of my favorite features about this one is you can create a sticky and actually set alarms for it. So if you need those reminders to let you know, either call somebody or do these, or you could always have it pop up on your desktop, and it'll with setting up the alarm, it'll help you remember. So lots of good things to stay organized, whether it's notes or reminders with this one. The next one is another one of those tools that I kind of use on a daily basis. It's linked notes. It's actually a Chrome extension. And this was shared by a colleague of mine when I was trying to find a way to store my grading notes without having to leave the screen or the assignment that I was grading. So basically, you go to the Chrome store. It's called Linked Notes. You download it. It'll go on your toolbar, and you're able to create folders. And this is what you see right here. These are folders with grading notes. And so from here, as I'm grading my assignment, I'm just able to go onto the course and copy and paste whatever information I need to. So it is, yes, there is a lilac over notes, so it depends on what you guys use. But this is a great one. I also have other themes saved in there, links and some information. So very, very friendly to keep those things where you don't want to. So it's like a drop down. You get your notes, but you stay. Your screen will stay. So that's kind of what I was trying to accomplish with this one. But I love that it's just a drop down. I get my notes and I can still see the screen. The next one is Digo, and Digo is a very nice tool to use to organize links, information, bookmarks for websites, and very nice. There is a login required because it's storing your the information you're saving, but instead of like, they call it like you can build your personal library in the cloud. One thing that I love about this one is that you can, as you're going to websites, and this happens to all of us a lot, we're sharing, we're looking at the information, and then we're trying to figure out, oh, I want to save this and look for later. And so this one allows you to do that. If you need to make notes or add annotations to the site, you could do that, and then when you go back into it, it'll remind you why is it that you were looking at that site. So very, very simple. Another feature that I love about this one is that you can share it with friends. So if I tell you, have some great links for collaborations, and you can just share the entire folder and even your notes with someone. I would say definitely try this one if you're looking for something to stay organized with those bookmarks and links. Okay, and so this is the last one, and this is the one that I learned about recently too, but it's one of my favorites. It's called Live Binders, and let me make sure that I copy this link really quick, because this is the link that you guys are going to have to see all of these resources. So basically, the link that I just put down here is the link to the Live Binder that I created with all of these resources that I shared with you today. So all of these features that I shared with you are in there. And also there is, the links are in there. It's a wonderful, wonderful site. But so let me tell you about binders. Basically, Live Binders, it's sort of like the binders that you used to have, or that you have with a bunch of information, but you're now able to save them online. It is a fabulous, fabulous site. So there are people that have built binders with tons of information, and they have made this public, and you have access to them. You could also use it and make private binders if you just want to keep resources. Now, the beauty about binders is the amount of things that you can add to it. So you can add URLs, you can add images, you can add files, you can add Dropbox. So it is, like I said, anything that you ever added in a real binder, you can add in here. With the tools that I'm sharing with you today, you'll see the tabs at the top, so make sure you click on each tab, and then you'll see the sub-tabs with each of the tools that were shared with you today. So you can see an example of how you can build a binder. This is also an opportunity for students to build portfolios and things like that. An awesome, awesome site. I do wanted to tell you that you know, I am sorry I could not necessarily share all of the details for each of these with you, but give it a try. Visit them and see how they can help you, how they can maximize your online teaching or help your students. Definitely wanted to make sure that I at least make you aware that these tools exist and highlight some of the great features of them, but there's tons of more information. So feel free to go on this binder here, sorry, that I share with you, and get those, definitely get those links for them and try them. Thank you so much. I know we run out of time here, but if you do have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much. And if you have any other, here's my email. If you guys need some, have any questions or want to email me, and there's my Twitter account. But thank you so much. You guys been awesome.
Thank you, Paola, for it. That really interesting presentation, lots of wonderful ideas. Thank you for attending this session, and thank you to Paola again for sharing your expertise. To receive your continuing professional education credit for attending this session, fill out the survey posted on conference homepage, conference.txvsn.org. Your CPE certificates will be emailed to you within 2 weeks. To access the recording of this session, please visit the Conference tab on the conference homepage and click View Recorded Session. Transcripts of each session will be posted there as well. The next session will be today at 10:30 a.m. Central, entitled Education is None of Your Business. Thank you for attending the TxVSN online conference. We hope you join us for next year's conference, scheduled for June 21st through 23rd, 2017.